Levi roots, and I have a passion for food. Ever since I was a little boy growing up in Jamaica, I've always loved to cook. Now, I want to take you on a mouth-watering journey through my favorite flavors. I'll be sharing classic Caribbean dishes as I travel around Jamaica and across the UK, giving your taste buds the tropical treatment. I'll show you how sunshine ingredients can spice up anyone's cooking and bring the taste of the Caribbean to your kitchen. It's delicious, it's healthy, and it's so easy. Caribbean islands, nestling in the deep blue waters off the coast of the Americas, are a culinary paradise, bursting with delicious fruit, fish, and spices. And it's where I was born. I lived in Jamaica with my grandmother until I was 11, and the boundary of my world was the Maypen Bridge. When I was a kid, I was told that this bridge was 7 miles high, and I believed it. Now, I'm making the return journey to Content, the village where I grew up. I get back to my grandmother's old home whenever I can. And today, I'll be cooking lunch for my niece, Janice, and my big sister, Cynthia.
Nice to see you. Come in.
But first, let me show you around. This is a very special garden to me. I spent a lot of time here as a kid. My grandfather used to have trees like these, and he used to protect his mango trees so much. He didn't want anybody else but the birds to have it. So we pretended to be birds, that we would actually eat the mango around the seeds on the tree and not leave any mess on the floor. So he would come along and say, "Those damn birds at my mangoes again." And my friend and I would be around the corner laughing at him with our bellies full of mango. This is a typical Caribbean garden with lots of food growing in a small space. Green bananas, ackee, breadfruit, and here, unripe or jelly coconuts. I think I'm gonna have one. Fantastic. In Jamaica, we love to cook out of doors, so I've set up my kitchen in the garden. It's a great spot to celebrate coming home. When I was a boy, I was helping my grandmother all the time. But today, I've got my nephew here, Randy, who's gonna help me to cook my fabulous homecoming lamb. We all know that lamb and mint are great together, but this is a tropical twist on the combination with a marinade that uses the tang of spring onions and the citrus sweetness of limes. And we'll make a rich gravy with stout. I'll be serving it with a Jamaican staple, rice and peas. You'll be amazed how easy it is to make this tasty classic using coconut, my special ingredient. Now, Randy, come on. You can rhyme some of these lambs for me, okay? Randy, do you do any cooking?
Yes, I do.
You
cooking.
do? Brilliant. I better de-bling, yes? First, I'm gonna need 3 sprigs of spring onions. Scallion here in the Caribbean, but spring onions to you if you're anywhere else. This will be the base for our lamb marinade paste. And what I'm making here is what I would cook for my grandmother if she was alive today. Next, I'm gonna need some mint, chopped fine. My grandmother was always calling me, Leslie, which was my pet name. Have you heard what I used to say?
No.
You could have called, but you now get come. Well, that meant no matter how much you call, I ain't gonna come. Next, I'm gonna add half of Scotch bonnet pepper. Then I'm gonna remove the seeds. My granny didn't like it hot. Next, I'm gonna add 3 sprigs of thyme, chopped finely. Lovely smell of the garden. Some pimento or allspice berries. I'm gonna add 6 of these. Now, to mix all this into a marinade, you add the juice of 2 limes and a splash of olive oil. See if we can mash it up. You could do this in a blender, just blitz it. But I think there's a little bit more pleasure in doing it yourself. Yeah, I think that's ready. Respect Joe Randy. Yeah, take it back. Yeah. Now, this is the real cool bit, is to work your marinade into your lamb so it gets all lovely and flavoursome. If you got the time, leave it in the fridge overnight so the flavours will really penetrate into the meat. But if not, about an hour, perfect. I'm going to be cooking this on a traditional Caribbean coal pot. This is just the same as your hob at home. A little more exotic. Now, my coal pot is going nicely. Now, for my grandmother's special treat, if she was alive today, I would be cooking her rice and peas. Right, Randy? Let's get into this coconut. Oh, there's 3 eyes in the coconut, but only one you can enter through. So come on, son. Which one do you think?
This one.
You say that one? Shall we ever go? Ah, yes. Here it is. Look. Can't get in that one. Can't get in that one. That one's nice. And there's the juice. You can buy coconut milk, but it's so much tastier if you make it fresh. Smash your coconut, separate the flesh and grate it coarsely. Steep it in the coconut juice and some warm water for 20 minutes and squeeze out that delicious coconut milk. Once you've done that, get it straight on the fire. Then you add a whole spring onion, some fresh thyme, 7 allspice berries, a bit of bite from a whole garlic clove, half an onion roughly chopped, and a whole Scotch bonnet pepper. As long as it remains intact, this little demon brings flavor without adding too much heat. Now for the peas. Yes, I know it's confusing. We call them peas, but they're really beans. We've got here is about a tin's worth of black beans. But if you are using kidney beans, which is the traditional peas or beans we use for rice and peas, it's just as fab. When that has simmered for 15 minutes, pour in the rice to absorb all those flavors. You need to brown the meat for a few minutes on each side to seal in the spicy marinade. It smells fabulous. Well, this is going brilliantly, but I think I'm going to have to moderate the heat a bit. Randy! I'll bring in our moderator in. Now we need to pop the lid on and let that sort of steam fry away, just to release more juices in there. For about 5 minutes. Then add any remaining marinade to the meat. In it goes. And the final ingredient is the stout. Again, pour exactly in the middle to avoid any splashes. My granny, she loved a bit of stout. I'm going to leave that to simmer away for about 8 minutes, just so that some of the liquid can actually evaporate, and just leave me a nice thick gravy. Cheers. I think I can guess what the family will think of my homecoming lamb. But more importantly, what would Granny have thought? You think she'd like it?
Should be surprised. You know that Leslie. You know that Leslie could prepare such a meal.
Yeah.
Yes, she should be proud. Should be very, very proud.
It's just like old times, but not everything stays the same. This is another of my childhood aunts that is looking a bit different today. This is my grandfather's farm. I can still feel his presence here, and I'm sure he's still keeping the birds off his mangoes. For centuries, these Caribbean islands have been at the crossroads of global trade, and their cuisine combines flavors from all over the world. But if all this looks a bit exotic, don't worry. The good news is you don't have to travel around the world to get your ingredients. Everything I'm going to cook in this series you can get hold of in your local shops. And to make it really easy, you could put together a little treasure chest with the core ingredients we'll use again and again. Let's call it a sunshine kit. If you have got these essentials in your kitchen, Caribbean cooking will be a breeze. Okay. I've put in ginger, which adds heat as well as flavor. How much fee? $40. That's Jamaican dollars, by the way. Allspice or pimento, Scotch bonnet pepper, my favorite. These are one of the world's hottest chili peppers. You have any nutmeg there, lady? Lord of mercy, fantastic fresh nutmeg. Next, some sweet scented thyme. I gotta say, this is really fresh stuff, yeah. And finally, a bit of bay leaf. Now in there, I should have everything I need to bring a bit of sunshine to your kitchen. Lots of these flavors go into the most popular fast food in Jamaica, the legendary jerk chicken. You see these oil drum barbecues called jerk pans everywhere across the Caribbean. Jerk has been described as Jamaica's culinary gift to the world, and it has a rich history. Jerk is a spicy seasoning rubbed into chicken, pork, fish, or pretty much anything. The cooking method is said to have been used by Jamaica's original inhabitants, the Arawak Indians, who laid their meat on pimento wood strips in a fire pit, perhaps the world's first barbecue. You know, jerk is not just about how you cook it, it's the spices that you use and what you put in it. So today, I'm gonna make my sticky jerk wings with sugared oranges. This is first-rate finger food, a modern twist on traditional jerk flavors. I've kept the spice, but added a delicious sweetness with honey. A fantastic accompaniment are these sugared orange slices, which are caramelized on the barbecue. First, I'm gonna need 4 spring onions. Let's get rid of the ugly bits. Just chop them roughly, because I am gonna put them in a pestle and mortar. Next, I'm gonna plunder that fabulous Caribbean sunshine kit. 2 tablespoonfuls of thyme leaves. So I'm not gonna chop these, I'm just gonna flake off the leaves. 1 Scotch bonnet pepper, and I'm gonna choose a red one. You know, Scotch bonnet pepper is always optional. Jerk is not about the heat, it's about the flavors of the spices that you put together. A knob of ginger, and chop that up finely. So I'm gonna put all this lot into a pestle and mortar. There are 2 kinds of seasoning for jerk. The first one is what you call dry seasoning, but then you have the wet rub, which is what I'm gonna make. I'm gonna add 100 mils of cider vinegar, 1 teaspoonful of cinnamon, 3 tablespoonfuls of honey. Next I'm gonna add pimento or allspice, 2 tablespoonfuls of olive oil. Add a bit of salt and pepper, mash it up, and then transfer it to a bowl. The sweetness and the spices are a lip-smacking combination. Wow. I've got some really fresh chicken wings here. I'm gonna pop them in. It's good to leave these for about 4 hours to marinate, but better still overnight. But you know what? I've got some already prepared. I've made myself a little barbecue here, just as I would as a little boy. Nothing fancy. Have a look. Once you've put them on the barbecue, turn them every couple of minutes or so. This stunning spot happens to be a sugar plantation. Sugar has long been a core crop in Jamaica, and I'm serving my sticky jerk chicken wings with sugared orange slices. Quarter your oranges and coat them generously in the sugar. Yeah, I know, it's exciting. I think you can see where I'm going with this. Add the oranges, sugared side down. And once they get browned, you just turn them over. These are so easy, but so delicious. Have a go on your barbecue. And now, to round the day off, a little local spectacle. Burning the cane. In preparation for the harvesters, the cane field is set on fire to clear away all the leftover brushwood, leaving just the cane stalks. There's nothing like dinner by the fire. all the Caribbean islands have their own culture and cuisine, but they all share a sense that eating is a social event, and sometimes it can be a very big social event. This is the Trelawney Yam Festival, a fantastic celebration of anything connected with the king of Caribbean carbohydrates.
Love shines brighter than the morning sun.
There's all the usual fun of the fair. Best dressed donkey, dancing girls, dancing boys. But today, the yam is the star. Yams come in all different shapes and sizes. This is yellow yam, but there are 18 different varieties of yams growing in Jamaica. Like sweet potatoes, they're becoming more generally available in British supermarkets, but we got some catching up to do. Yams are eaten in much the same way as we use baked potatoes in the UK. But they have a nutty flavor of their own, and this festival demonstrates their versatility. You'd be amazed at what you can make with a yam. Yam punch. Okay, I'm dying to try some of this yam punch, you know, my lady. You made this? What is in it?
Yam,
Yes?
molasses, milk,
Yeah.
nutmeg, what other spices?
Is this your recipe? Like secret recipe?
Oh yes.
Lord of mercy. Yams are full of vitamins and fiber, and any Jamaican will tell you how good they are for you. But some people believe they have almost magical properties when it comes to strength and stamina. I'm not sure it's working for me. That was hard. I'm going to have lunch with someone who thinks yams are worth their weight in gold. This is the cockpit country, childhood home of the fastest man on the planet. Jamaica's triple Olympic gold medal winner, Usain Bolt, who grew up eating Trelawney yam cooked by his Aunt Lily. Miss Lily runs a little bar and has offered to prepare some yams for me in her favorite way, roasted and mashed with a swirl of mayonnaise.
Good.
Thanks for having me. But first, a quick yam spotter's guide.
This is the male yam.
The male yam, let's have a look at the male yam here.
Yeah.
Right. Now, how would I make a distinction between the male yam and the female? Is the male smaller?
Not really smaller. It's bare straight down.
Right, okay.
Bare down.
Right, so
Yeah,
it's vertical, yes?
Yeah.
Okay,
Down.
cool. Yeah.
This is a female.
That's the female yam.
We
Big.
call it, yeah, we call it pum pum.
Let me have a feel of that pom-pom yam.
Oh, here it is. And I'll hold the male.
Yes, yes. Would I say this is dry yam?
Dry,
It's very
perfectly.
dry. And I've got to explain that dry is what you're looking for when you're trying to find a really good yam or even a pumpkin. If somebody says it's dry, then they're not saying to you that it's no good. It's actually the best thing. So this is a nice dry yam.
It is.
Yes. Did
You just-
Usain cook out here with you?
Of course.
He did?
Yes. Yes.
This is fantastic. So this is the Olympic yam.
And I
The
tell
gold
you,
medal winning
baby,
yam.
you eat this yam, you keep running
Yeah.
as fast.
Let's start cooking with it. The rough skin of the yam is its own cooking container, and it is most commonly baked on the coal pot.
Keep turning them from time to time.
Yes, yes. So do you think that my pace will improve? Yes.
Eat the yam and
Yes,
try.
And try it, okay. To go with our yam, Miss Lily rustles up brown stew fish, fried grey mullet, braised with vegetables. We eat a lot of fish in Jamaica, and this is one of the most popular ways to serve it. After 45 minutes, the yams are ready. So all you have to do is peel them, mash them, and add the mayo. As a tasty alternative, you could use creme fraiche or yogurt. This is a classic Jamaican combination, and thankfully, there's more than enough lunch for Miss Lily's brother, Gideon Bolt, the father of Usain. So, Mr. Bolt, tell me, what was your initial feeling when you saw your son bolting to 3 Olympic gold medals?
Well, of course, it was a good feeling. The 100 meter I actually cried because I was sitting exactly in this same house here, in
here?
the living room here. We were all watching it from her house.
Yeah, Miss Bolt, I'm telling you, This yam here is brilliant. I'm loving it.
Tell you got to start running.
I'm gonna have a go afterwards on this street here because I'm sure Hussein must have run up and down the street many a time. I'm gonna see if my 15 minutes is improved for my 100 meters. If Miss Lily's yam does have magical properties, it certainly ought to work after the amount I've eaten. You didn't really think I was gonna run, did you? Getting up early to go fishing has its compensations. It's a beautiful morning. This is absolutely fantastic. As a boy, I spent a lot of time fishing with my friend Carly. We never had a boat like this, so for me, this is a dream come true. You are never that far from the coast in Jamaica, and the sea is teeming with fish, which not only makes up a big part of people's diet, they also provide many with a livelihood. Local fisherman Gary is already out in the lagoon, fishing with a spear gun from his surfboard. I think he's seen something. Even though it's so deep, I can still see the bottom of the water. Very clear, you can see everything down there. That's a local fish, known as a grunt. There is a huge variety of fish in these waters, and almost every species has become part of the local cuisine. On our way back in, Gary has something else to show us. Conch. Everybody loves conch out here. You can jerk it, you can do it in soup, and it's delicious. If you like calamari, you love this. With such a rich variety of seafood, there are lots of ways to cook it, and I've organized a little party on the beach to round off my trip with a brilliant barbecue treat.
We're having a party tonight, where everything will be alright.
I'm so chilled as a matter of fact that I'm gonna do my easiest recipe ever. I'm gonna be doing you my roast snapper with coconut, chili and lime salsa. The Caribbean Sunshine Kit has got just what I need to give the snapper a tangy stuffing. Thyme, ginger and Scotch bonnet pepper. And I'll be adding a fresh citrus twist with limes and parsley. A succulent coconut salsa is the perfect partner. I've got my fish, so let's get it scaled. I'm using a really big snapper here because I want some really nice flesh out of it. Bigger the snapper, less the bone. Snapper is easy to find in the UK now.
Time is short, so hear me, man.
Right, what you need to do with your fish now, just so that when you make your seasoning, it gets right in the fish. So I'm gonna give it a couple of slashes. That's one, another one here. Remember not to go too deep. Right, that's looking good. Let's put that over there so I can start making the stuffing for the fish. I'm gonna be using some flat leaf parsley. What I would usually use is coriander. The coriander is out of season at the moment here, so there's no harm in using parsley. And now some old friends from the Caribbean Sunshine Kit. Some thyme, chopped finely, in the pan it goes. A bit of ginger, which gives some gentle heat. And of course, Scotch bonnet pepper, de-seeded and chopped finely. I'm gonna need 2 limes. I'm gonna use the zest. It's gonna give it a nice, tangy, fresh taste. Now the same lime, just gonna cut that in half. Just to mix everything together. That smells lovely. Right, okay, let's get our fish back on here. And now for our other lime. Rub the lime juice on the skin and inside the snapper. Now your snapper is ready to be stuffed. Start with the slashes first. Really poke that in. You should get it right in there. Now I've got some foil here to wrap my fish in. I'm going to use a double amount of foil just to make sure that all the steam stays in, and wrap it up. We're in Jamaica, so I'm going to be doing this on a jerk pan, but you can do it in the oven, on a barbecue, or in a roasting tin. Cooking time depends on the size of the fish. That's a big fish, so I'm going to leave that for about 40 minutes. And what you're looking for is for the flesh of the fish to be opaque, and then you know you're on your way. The salsa is a variation on the stuffing, but with crunchy coconut. You need the juice of 8 limes, the zest of 2 limes, and into this dissolve a teaspoonful of castor sugar, some coconut shavings, some coarsely chopped flat leaf parsley or coriander, and 2 de-seeded Scotch bonnet peppers cut into strips. That's looking delicious. I'll leave those flavors to get acquainted. The snapper is doing fine, so I've just got time to make a super simple dessert. My matrimony deluxe, because some fruits go together, you know, love on a plate. First you'll need 1 mango cut into cubes. Add 2 kiwi fruits peeled and cut into quarters. Next, 2 passion fruit. You need to cut them in half and scoop out the flesh inside. I'm adding ginger, this time the sweetened preserved type, as well as some of the syrup that it comes in. And finally, squeeze over the juice of half a lime. I love to serve my matrimony deluxe with ice cream or cream. I've invited a few friends along, and the snapper seems to be going down a treat. And you know what? I've even thrown in the entertainment.
Don't you give up on yourself. Love will see us through. Tomorrow is another day. Work, rest and pray. Oh, don't you give up on yourself. Love will see us through. Tomorrow is another day. Work, rest and pray.
Next week, I'm in London, discovering the capital's best flavors.
Blow your head off.
Let's blow your head off, yeah. What is pepper pot shit? And down on the South Coast, there's a surprise on the bill for this hungry audience.
I got some food on the back there.
And from the delights of cooking to a serious problem, how our demand for fish is literally stripping the seas bare. George Alagaya continues his quest to satisfy our knowledge on the future of food, next on BBC Two. And on BBC Three, Nessa is about to spill the beans in Gavin and Stacey.